Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast here. And I do apologize for if there's some slight echoing in the background, or it's just my microphone for some reason. My actual microphone is not connected to Bandicam, so I do apologize. I have to use a different one. I do apologize if this sounds a little bit weird, but hopefully it's not too bad. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the major nor'easter here for the Northeast coming up late this week into early next week. We already have windstorm watches issued for many people under the region, the New Hampshire portion, the Maine, and even Massachusetts there for this snowstorm here. It will start to bring very heavy snow by Saturday night here. Looking at probably feet of snow here with up to 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So we are looking at potential blizzard conditions here. So we got a lot to talk about. Look at it. We're gonna be looking at radars. We can see the bullseye, the snowfall. You can see the worst winds. You can see blizzard conditions and all of that in this video here. But be sure to hit the subscribe button, the like button if you really enjoyed the video here. I really do appreciate all support we've got in the past few weeks in general. And also be sure to hit the notification icon so you get notified as soon as I do a video, especially if you live in the New England area, because you're going to want to get some nice updates from this. But without further ado, this is the forecast. So here, look now at the National Weather Service, and we just got a new update a few hours ago, or a few minutes ago actually. Windstorm watches have been issued for many people up there in the whole state of New Hampshire under a windstorm watch. Much of western and southern Maine is under a windstorm watch. Areas of much of Massachusetts is under a windstorm watch there, and areas in southern Vermont here. But let's see here what we have under the windstorm watch. We have Worcester, which is under a windstorm watch. Pittsfield, Massachusetts, which is under a windstorm watch here. But let's see as well. Boston, just outside this windstorm watch, is there. Greenfield, Lawrence, Manchester, and Concord in New Hampshire, you guys have windstorm watches. Bennington in Vermont, Greenfield, Fitchburg, Nashua, and that's basically where we actually have. Or actually, Worcester is actually just outside of windstorm watch there. Apologize for that. The whole state of New Hampshire under windstorm watch. Berlin, Conway, Norway, up in all the way near Jackman in far western Maine. So I do expect windstorm watches to go for the whole state of for the whole state of Maine very soon. For windstorm, at least winter weather advisories for upper Vermont. And I do think there's a chance we can get blizzard warnings for some areas in New Hampshire and Maine by Friday, by probably either tomorrow later or early Saturday. I do expect blizzard warnings to be issued since we will be seeing 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts for some of the higher elevations with very heavy snow. So I do expect at least a few counties to be under a blizzard warning here, but that's not guaranteed. But expect windstorm watches soon to Connecticut and to the rest of the Boston area. So again, we will have a lot more watches and warnings issued. This is just the first watches we have so far. But without further ado, let's take a look at the European model. So here, look now at the European model here. This is the next 42 hours. So this is Saturday around early-ish afternoon, or yeah, early afternoon, just afternoon. We're going to be seeing very heavy rain across these areas coming from this low pressure. Since temperatures will be slightly above freezing on Saturday throughout the day, temperatures will be kind of the upper 30s. We will expect really no snow until really the overnight hours into Saturday and Sunday morning here. We're going to be seeing some potential extremely heavy rain, up to 3 inches for some areas in just 24 hours, which doesn't sound like a lot if you live in the southeast or northwest or Florida. That's a lot of rain for the northeast. Northeast and southwest are kind of those regions in the United States that don't get that much rain in just 24 hours there. We're going to see throughout much of Saturday, we're going to be seeing some slight snowfall totals for the Roanoke area and areas into far eastern West Virginia, those higher elevations, because those areas will be below freezing there. But as we now go into the next 48 hours, into the kind of when the sun starts about to set, that rain will continue to really blow up here, especially areas like Delaware, Maryland, and Jersey. But, I mean, just downpours, downpours, and downpours. Looking at rain showers going all the way up from the Concord area, Manchester, down to North Carolina. So it's going to be a very wet eastern corridor. We can't just focus on the rain, or we can't just focus on the snow. We also have to focus about the rain, because not everybody's getting snow from this. So we have to also focus on those who are getting impacted by the rain. We're going to get a lot of rain. all the way from Georgia from this, Alabama, and then the worst of it will be once it gets into off the coast there. By the time we get to the next 54 hours, which is around 10 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday, that's when those temperatures will be below freezing here. So, I mean, that rain will just convert into snow very quickly here. This precipitation is going to take advantage of that, of those temperatures. So we're going to be seeing very heavy snow for areas like Boston. We're going to be seeing a slight threat for freezing rain and ice across the areas off the coast for areas like Rhode Island and Maine and even Massachusetts there off the coast there. But expect really heavy rain for areas off the coast like Long Island, areas near Cape Cod. Expect some as well rain here, continuing on and off throughout areas near Augusta. Portland. So we're going to be seeing a lot of rain with this, but obviously that rain will really convert to snow a lot in just a few hours overnight. So going to be seeing some very heavy snow as well for Hartford, some ice and some freezing rain for Providence. But as we not get in the next 60 hours here by Sunday morning, this snowstorm is just going to be completely just blowing up here and continue to bring maybe some freezing rain and even some heavy snow across the area like Providence, Newport, Cape Cod, Long Island. You guys are going to just miss the worst, or not worst, but you guys are going to miss this completely, sadly. But very heavy snow going to be reported for areas like Concord, New Hampshire, areas like Worcester, Massachusetts, going to get very heavy snow. Areas near Augusta and Portland, Maine, as well, all the way up to Caribou near the Canada border, and then even by still Sunday late morning, still seeing some snow now for areas like Newport. So we're gonna get some slight flurries all the way down to the coast for areas near Newport. Some light to moderate snow for Boston, continuing on and off. Very heavy snow continuing for much of Maine on late Sunday morning, and all the way by Sunday afternoon and evening. We're gonna continue to see that light snow falling, which is exactly why we could get up to 2 feet and reported for areas in Maine there, and maybe even 2.5 feet for those higher elevations in the western part of the state there. And then we're looking at something interesting, maybe another system there. I mean, that's very interesting. But now let's take a look at the NAM 3-kilometer model. So this is the NAM 45 hours out here. So looking at Saturday mid-afternoon, I guess you could say that. We're going to be seeing, again, that snow for those areas in the highest elevations near Boone, North Carolina, near the Great Smoky Mountains, all the way up to areas into far eastern West Virginia. But again, going to be big rain event there, all the way from North Carolina to areas near New Hampshire. But the worst of it will be for areas like Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, and New Jersey. Is going to really get the worst of that rain there. Just look at that. Think about the NAM. The NAM is very interesting about this because they're actually getting very heavy snow all the way down to Atlantic City. Not a single other model has had snow there. And again, the NAM is not too accurate. They were meant for severe weather. They always overreact anything that's outside severe weather, including hurricanes. They would show like storms that would not get to a category 2, get to 950 millibars. So the NAMs really only go for severe weather, but I would want to give you guys a variety of very detailed radars, and obviously global models aren't this detailed. So I would like to include the NAM just for that. But they're showing very heavy, some blizzard conditions, absolutely, because how strong that low pressure is there at 979 millibars, gusts up to 60 miles an hour. That's just going to be whiteout conditions for areas like Hartford, Worcester, Pittsfield, Concord. And then look, you see those peaks? That's not ice. That's actually snow. Look how heavy that snow can get there up to the peaks. And with those winds, that is going to be the definition of whiteout conditions. I mean, you probably won't see more than a quarter mile out because of the winds. And I wouldn't even go outside. I know you want to put the snow. I would go after the winds calm down because the temperatures will be still below freezing for areas like New Hampshire and Maine there. But you're going to see that rain convert into snow for areas like Massachusetts coast up to the next 60 hours there. But, I mean, the snow totals for the NAM 3-kilometer are really just crazy. Let me just tell you that. Here's one look at the newest European model. This is actually, I believe, the 12. Yeah, this is 12Z. So this is completely new to my last video. So a big western shift here, and that's actually going to favor Providence. It's going to favor Massachusetts, including Boston. It's going to favor Portland and Augusta. I mean, it's going to favor a lot of people here. But notice almost the whole state of Maine will be getting over a foot of snow. It's just going to be that one little area right here in Maine that doesn't get too much snow. That's going to be kind of the far eastern tip, and that's going to be because that kind of onshore breeze there. I mean, the low pressure is not going to go way in there. It's just going to be too warm. It's just going to be slightly above freezing. It's still, I know it's Maine, but it's still going to be above freezing because of the onshore breeze. It's kind of like San Francisco. San Francisco rarely gets below freezing here. They're always cold throughout the year, 50s, 60s, and even though it's 90s a few miles away. But it's kind of just like that. But let's take a look at what they have for the subtotal. They do actually have an increased eastern trend there, and they're looking at a good 7 to 8 inches in downtown Hartford. Looking at a trace to an inch of stuff in New York City. Could see some flurries in New York City and a slight accumulation. New Haven looking at an inch to 2 inches. Pittsfield looking at around 2 to 4 inches in Massachusetts. Areas where Providence are slowly starting to increase there. They're getting there anywhere from 4 to 7 inches. Providence around an inch or so. Cape Cod really traced to nothing. It's just that really that onshore. That's just happens when you're on the coast there, really. Boston, you guys are really increasing anywhere from 7 to anywhere to 9 inches of snowfall. I mean, that's a big increase there. So I have been saying, if you guys saw my December forecast a few days ago, I was saying there's going to be a snow chance for much of the East Coast and Northeast as well because of this pattern where we're going to be seeing cold fronts coming in and meeting with precipitation. And this is literally the first weekend. It's already happening. So I feel pretty confident with my December forecast there. Vermont's snowfall totals have really gone down, so that's why I only said maybe winter weather advisory for the northern part of the state. The southern part of the state will get a good 4 to 5 inches there. That could obviously increase since it's still very far out. Concord and areas near Manchester anywhere from 11 to 14 inches there, but really get that heavy amount of snow for much of Maine, anywhere from 14 inches near Caribou down to 18 inches near Augusta and Portland. So it's going to be a big snow event no matter how you shape no matter how you shape or no matter what model you look at. Let's just look at the NAM 3-kilometer model. I actually want to go into the New England area. There we go. I mean, the NAM 3-kilometer model is very it's very interesting. Let's just say that. I mean, it's showing a big amount of snow for areas on the coast. So here, look at the NAM 3-kilometer model here. And this is the notes of this is 18Z. So all of these models I'm showing are new updates. So, oh my gosh, what's happening? Okay, so there we go. This is what they have right now for the NAM 3-kilometer. And this only goes 60 hours out. So this is not the whole storm. They actually are showing up to 8 to 10 inches for Boston. That's the European and NAM 3-kilometer all agreeing on for Boston. The thing is, they're getting up to half a foot near Cape Cod, where really they're going to struggle to get above freezing. So I don't agree with that. Again, the NAM 3-kilometer, I wouldn't recommend trusting it completely. I would really look at GFS, ICON, CMC, and the European completely to get a better idea. Providence, 4 to 6 inches there, and of course, up the East Coast, a big snow event for areas near Augusta and Portland, Maine, getting anywhere from half a foot to a foot and a half. So crazy snow vessels. I'm actually kind of proud of the GFS. I'm gonna admit I'm pretty proud of the GFS for actually changing and actually being more realistic here. They're finally more realistic, finally showing a widespread amount of snow here. So now the GFS is actually finally starting to agree with the European here on the severity of the snow. Looking at up to around 8 to 10 inches there for Concord, New Hampshire. They're showing up to a foot in areas just north of Worcester. Looking at really less than an inch there for Boston. So there still are huge uncertainties for what we have right now, but that's basically what we have. And let's take a look now at the rainfall totals here. Actually, cannot forget about the rainfall totals. Let's see if I can actually find it. There we go, 120-hour precipitation. So this is going to be the total precipitation. I actually want to check out the European, though. I want to do European. So this is what the European has. And again, this is going to be, the Northeast does not see this much rain in 24 hours, or not even sometimes in a week. So this is actually a lot of rain, believe it or not, what they're seeing. Up to 4 inches off the coast there. Obviously, that's not really important, but areas like, areas off the coast like Cape Cod, Providence, you guys are getting a good 2.5 inches, which is actually a lot of rain in that time of period, in that little time for the Northeast. Around an inch, 1.2 inches for New York City, Near Atlantic City getting around just over 2 inches. And look at Maine. That is a lot of rain for Maine. Maine really does not get too much precipitation unless it's obviously frozen. But rain-wise, that's a lot. That's going to cause some big flash flooding across the eastern corridor. And then last but not least, we're going to be checking out at the winds. And we're going to be seeing extreme winds. Look at that. We're going to be seeing up to 70 70 miles an hour max gust. There's near Cape Cod getting around 40 to 50 mile an hour gust for Long Island, 32 for Hartford, getting already 40 to 45 mile an hour wind gust there for Maine. And you gotta keep in mind how heavy the snow would be. Look at that, areas near Mount Washington, 60 knots there, 60 mile an hour wind gust. With that heavy snow, it's gonna be crazy. 50 mile an hour wind gust. I mean, there's a chance you can get a few blizzard warnings, but it's not completely likely. It's a possibility. It's always a possibility, maybe for 1 or 2 counties, but not gonna be too widespread. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye, guys.